Good morning and greetings from Northumberland. It's Wednesday the 18th of November and it's before dawn and there's just the red stripe of the rising sun on the horizon. So we'll have to see what the dawn brings. The dawn is a promise of the presence of God, the rising sun, the Son of Righteousness who rises in our hearts. And today we have another of the parables of the kingdom. And those of you who are attentive will realize that today we have St. Luke's version of the parable that we had from St. Matthew on Sunday. The parable of what's sometimes called the talents, and in St. Luke's Gospel is called the parable of the pounds. It's all about being entrusted with something and then having a reckoning. And we have to remember, of course, that parables are parables. They are stories with a meaning, and they are not history, and they are not accurate in every detail. And I want to concentrate on one aspect of the parable, which is the aspect we thought about on Sunday as well. But this idea that we are entrusted by Jesus, by God, with gifts. Gifts which are to be used, and they are to be used for the building up of God's kingdom. And the building up of God's kingdom is bringing people into the ambit of God's love and meeting the needs of the poor. And that is what we are given the task of doing. And in doing it, sometimes we're given many skills and talents, and in others we have limited skills and talents. But the message of the parable is that we have to use what we are given for the good of the kingdom, for the kingdom of justice and peace, and the kingdom where the poor are raised up and the sick are healed. And that can be done in so many ways. But Christ is entrusting us with his people. Christ is entrusting us with a mission and with a call that we might do it. And of course, in the parable, there are three. Someone's given a lot and he produces a lot. Someone's given a medium amount and produces a medium amount. And someone's given a little and doesn't produce anything. But of course, we're not in those categories. Sometimes I can produce fruit. Sometimes the things I do produce fruit. And sometimes I'm a little bit like the person who was given the 1 or 2 talents who produces nothing. Parables are important because they speak to us at different times and in different situations. But the overall message is the same. Use the gifts that God has given you for the building of the kingdom, for the relief of those who are in need, and for the good of all people, the common good, and to bring people within the ambit of the love of God. In our worship this morning, in our prayer this morning, we'll use that song based on the prayer of Teresa, St. Teresa. Christ has no body now but yours, no hands, no feet on earth but yours. St. Teresa, in another way, says the same thing, that we are called to share in the mission and the work of the kingdom by the God who gives us the ability to do so. May he bless and keep us today in all that we do.